All right, so today we are going to do an experiment that you have to use candy. So we're going to use Skittles. You could also use M&Ms for this. You need hot water, and then you need a plate that has like a lip on the side so that water doesn't go everywhere. What we're going to be doing is we are going to be seeing what happens when we put Skittles onto a plate, adding water based on what Skittles are made up of. We're going to see what happens to the Skittles when they are put in water. All right, so we have our white dish, we have our Skittles, and I have some hot water as well. And we're going to make our predictions as to what we think is going to happen. So, Mikey, what do you think is going to happen?
It's going to turn into a really colorful swirl.
Okay. Elsie, what do you think is going to happen?
I think it's going to turn into a swirl as well.
Okay. Do you think that the colors are going to stay together, or do you think that they meaning separate, or you think they're going to mix?
A little bit of mixing.
Okay. Mikey, what do you think?
A tiny bit of mixing.
Okay. Now, with Skittles, one of the reasons why it's going to do what it does has to do with what makes up Skittles. So, Elsie, what do you think are in Skittles?
Sugar and its artificial color.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to line up the Skittles all around the outside of the plate, and then I'm going to add water to it, and we'll watch what happens. Okay, so we have our Skittles set up, and we set them up around the outside of the plate. That's going to be really important that you only have one for each. You don't want to have too many. If you do it in a different way, that's fine, but we're trying to show what our predictions were, which was, are the colors going to mix or not? In a moment, I'm going to go ahead and pour the water into the center of the plate. You want it so that it touches all of the Skittles, but that it's not overflowing too much. And you also want to make sure that if the Skittles start to move, that you gently move them back. All right, so we added our water, and luckily for us, our Skittles really didn't move, so we don't have to move them back. And now we're just going to watch what happens to the colors. You can see them. They are slowly moving out. Pretty cool. And we will check back in with you guys in a couple minutes. Okay, so all of our colors have completely come out of the Skittles, and they've met in the center of the plate. But what we've actually found was that they stayed separate for the most part. The only thing that may have gotten messed up a little bit is the yellow. All right, so it's been a couple minutes, and we've let our Skittles just kind of sit in the water. And as you can see, they did start to mix, but they originally started off separate. So one of the things that you can talk about with your kids is you can mention how with the different colors, it means that they have different densities or lightness. So when we did the density bottle the other day, what we found was that oil separates out and goes to the top, much like with our colors here. The different colors may have different densities. So some are lighter or darker, lighter or heavier than others. So they are going to stay separate from each other and then eventually mix. You can also do this with M&Ms, but we had Skittles on hand, so this is what we used. So enjoy, and I wouldn't recommend eating the Skittles after doing this.